Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Escape from Tarkov with me, Unfluffy Bunny. In this episode, we are going to be talking about weight. And I know that's a hot topic right now, especially with the latest update and all of the weight changes that have come into effect. But this was actually something that I was looking at before we even knew about the weight changes. I was making a video on a third stat that people weren't paying attention to when building out weapons, and that was the weight of the weapons and what that effect had on your guns. So what we're looking at right here is a Remington 700 that we were messing around with before the weight changes. A buddy of mine, Sujin Gaming TV, actually came up with this build. And what we found was when you would ADS with it, you would actually gain stamina, which is kind of insane compared to most other sniper rifles or anything like that, where when you ADS, your stamina is going down and slow. And this was with multiple different sights. We could actually do that with a Reaper and just be able to walk around with the Reaper held to our eyes and not have to worry about stamina drain. You could run through the entire map and not have to worry about losing stamina when you would ADS, because as you ADS, the stamina would come back and you could just scan. So it was a very important stat even before people realized it was an important stat. And then BSG came in with their weight update. Now, regardless of whether you like the changes or not to the weight system, that's not what I'm here to discuss. Me personally, I do like it. I think it adds a more realistic feel to the game for not just the sake of realism. I think it adds the ability for you as a player to make choice, and I think that's what makes great games great, is you can't just grab everything off of every single person you kill. You now have to be more selective. You now have to take time to figure out what you want, and that puts you into a dangerous situation the longer you're sitting on a body trying to take gear versus being able to just loot and run. So that's my opinion, and I know other people have differing opinions. But what I decided was, since it's in the game, this is the system that we have as of right now. It is ever evolving and changing. Does the lightweight stuff that I was working on before still apply? So what I did was I decided to take the Remington that Sujin had built and then compare it to two other versions of the Remington. The first version was going to be the standard M700 that you can buy from Jaeger. No attachments, no nothing. And what I wanted to find out was, what is the length that we can hold our ADS both standing and crouching. Alright, so what we found was with the standard M700 with a weight of 4.170 kilograms and an ergo of 26, crouch ADS would be 1 minute and 32 seconds. Now our standing ADS would be 1 minute and 5 seconds. Now that is still a long time to ADS, but it's not as long as you think. When you're holding a position and you know that there is an enemy in the distance and you're waiting for them, a minute really isn't that long. Now the next one that we looked at was our heavy build, and with our heavy build we had a weight of 6.275 kilograms, ergo of 50, and a crouched ADS time of 1 minute and 18 seconds, a standing ADS time of 58 seconds. Now, you can actually see the build right here on the screen. This isn't a abnormal build. It has a skeletonized handle. It has, standard things that you would find on a M700 build, but because it added so much weight, your ADS time went way down. And it wasn't like I was intentionally trying to make a heavy version. This was actually sent to me for a competition that I was in. And it was so heavy, but it's a standard normal build. So let's see what the lightweight build had compared to it. Alright, for the light version of the M700, we had a weight of 3.979 kilograms, ergo of 36, crouched ADS 1 minute and 36 seconds, standing ADS 1 minute and 12 seconds. So what did this prove? Well, obviously, lighter things can be held for longer. That is just how physics work. So we didn't really prove anything besides that, but it created a new question. Now the new question becomes, the value that we've been putting into ergonomics and recoil control into weapons, is that still what we need to justify an attachment on a gun? Or do we really need to start taking into consideration the weight of those attachments, especially since we have a limited weight to bring items out of a raid, and that's how you make your money. So if the gun that you're bringing in and the kit that you're bringing in is already eating into half of or more of the weight that you can actually carry out of raid, maybe it's time we start looking a little bit differently at our weapons. So we decided to look at something that is a little bit more meta. I was thinking the M4, but I was also thinking the HK, and I decided to go with the HK just because it is a little bit higher end, but the differences between the standard, the meta build, and once I built out the lightweight build became so apparent that it just fit into what we were trying to do. So with this, the standard HK comes in at a weight of 3.819 kilograms, an ergo of 61, and for this I decided to put in recoil. This gun has a recoil of 83. Crouched ADS we found was 1 minute and 39 seconds, whereas standing ADS was 1 minute and 14 seconds. Still really good. Those are actually higher numbers than the lightweight M700, and this was only a little bit less weight than that. So still, lighter things can be held longer. Now, if you have ever fired the standard HK fully automatic, you know that this gun has a huge kick. It raises very quickly and settles very slowly. And with a 30 round magazine, that doesn't really work too much because by the time it's settled, the mag is empty. So having those attachments does benefit this gun a lot, but does the weight also benefit this gun? Alright, so next, let's take a look at the aka meta version of the HK. It has a weight of 4.941 kilograms, an ergo of 65, a recoil of only 37. Now, with this, our crouched ADS time was 1 minute 22 seconds, a standing ADS time of 1 minute 2 seconds. Really good. I mean, all the way around, this gun is still the best. It has a high rate of fire. It does not move when you spray. It is a laser. So the attachments that you're putting into this gun and the gun itself, you're looking at almost 200K roughly. I mean, obviously you can get it a little bit cheaper with buying parts from the flea market on average, but this gun is top tier. It just melts. So now we needed to see, did the lightweight version actually matter more? Now, for the lightweight version of the HK, I literally held nothing back. I went through every single attachment for this gun and decided to build it as light as possible. Literally everything in every category that was light I put into this gun, because I wanted to see how low we could get it, what we could get the ergo to, the recoil, with just choosing the light options. Now, that being said, the light HK came in with a weight of only 2.708 kilograms. Ergo of 78, super high ergo just by choosing the light options, which makes sense. Ergo should be a little bit dependent on the weight. And a recoil though of 86, so the recoil actually went up compared to the standard version. Now, we did get a crouched ADS of 1 minute and 58 seconds, so almost 2 minutes to just hold your gun ADS and walk around if you want to. A standing ADS of 1 minute and 28 seconds. So yes, this gun is super light. Yes, you can hold it to your face and just walk through the map for 2 minutes without worrying about it. But the recoil was so bad. I sprayed it at somebody and it went everywhere. There was no recoil control. It was just unbearable. You had to single shot this to even get shots on target, because if you ran into somebody and sprayed them, it went everywhere. It was just bad. But what I did come to find out though was, hey, just because the attachments are heavy or light, you've got to take into account every single aspect of an attachment now. Not just the ergo, not just the recoil reduction, not just the weight. You literally have to look at all three. And I think once players start realizing that, we're going to see a lot of new builds coming out. We're going to see a lot of builds that are new meta, that will allow you to ADS for longer, will allow you to bring the gun up faster, and will still give you recoil reduction. Now, I'm not saying that this is how every gun's gonna be. I think that there's still a place for each type of weapon. I think that there are guns that are specifically better for running factory or woods, but if you can give yourself an advantage with the attachments that you're putting onto those guns and realize, okay, I'm using a sniper rifle, I should make this sniper rifle as light as possible because I'm not worried about bringing it to my eye. I'm trying to get into a position. I want to make sure I can hold it at my eye long enough in those positions so that way I can get the snipes in. Whereas if you're playing a more close quarters map such as factory, you may want to still go with ergonomics and lightweight, so that way you can carry more stuff out, you can move through the map quicker, you're not being drained of stamina so fast. So I think it's super important to us as players in Tarkov that we come to the realization that, hey, weight is here, we need to look at it, and we probably need to readdress a lot of the builds that we were considering meta and maybe save us a little bit of rubles in the process and start building cheaper versions. So with this video, I really wanted to show everybody lightweight builds, but unfortunately with the weight change, BSG really threw this entire video for a loop. I was really excited to show you certain, like the M700 build that you got stamina as you ADS'd, MP5 builds that you could just run through the map with that never allowed you to, run out of stamina. But with the weight changes, this video had to change just like that. And in that process, it brought up a lot more questions that I hadn't really asked myself before. And it brought to the realization of why certain weapons now are very, very good, like the VSS, like the AS Val, with them being such light weapons and their attachments being so light that you can run these weapons. You can move like you're still playing the last patch, and be able to be a loot goblin and get out with a lot. So yes, BSG made this video change when they changed the weight system, and it made me as a player start to question a lot of the attachments that I run. And I'm kind of hoping it does the same for you. Hopefully that you as a viewer and you as a Tarkov player will start to question, okay, this attachment has a great ergo, it has great recoil reduction, but it weighs a lot, so now I know I can't bring as much out on the raid. And that's what this video was. It's morphed into more of a, hey guys, maybe reflect on the guns that you're building, maybe look at them, don't just keep running what was meta, maybe start looking for what is going to be meta. And if you don't want to do that, fine, just keep running whatever you want to run, have fun with it. That's what this game's all about. But I still wanted to give you guys that knowledge. I still wanted you to understand the change and the growth of the game and how things have morphed into something different. I really hope you guys like this video. I really hope it didn't confuse the hell out of you, because it is a lot of information. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It helps the channel out tremendously. Also, you can check us every single day, for the most part, on twitch.tv/unfluffybunny. I stream pretty much every single day. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at unfluffybunny_. I post when I go live each and every day. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you have any comments, leave them below. Good, bad, negative, positive. I read them all. So thank you guys so much. You have a great one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.